Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. Today we're gonna go into the plains of Strife, which are just outside of Fort Icon. Our goal is gonna be to get to the gates of Necropolis, a waypoint. Along the way, there's gonna be a portal into the dimension of the cultists, or of the Chthonians to be specific. And from there we can go onwards to the Obsidian Throne. In each of those two side areas we will have a quest. Because for the Avatar of Mokdrogan, part of the Rowari Legacy quest, we need to pick up the Spirit of Mokdrogan, which is just happily tucked away into that chaotic side area. And for our buddies at Cadence Chosen, we need to take out the greater demon known as Pengroth. So we've got a pretty jam-packed schedule for the day. So let's see how the map generation is gonna be for us today. Or specifically how the portal spawning is gonna be for us today. Because the map itself is gonna be static, but where the portal spawns there are 3 different locations for that. So effectively it always boils down to just doing a full clear. While I was doing a little bit of a warm-up, just clearing the courtyard outside of Fort Icon here, I found a very nice blueprint. And it is for the Warborn Visor. It's a level 75 legendary, so we are only level 66, so it's got to be 9 more levels before we can even put this on, so there's no need to equip it or craft it just yet. But this is the first part of a soldier set. The helmet by itself gives us +1 to all skills in a soldier, as well as a boost to physical and internal trauma damage, some offensive ability, attack speed, pierce resistance and vitality resistance. And getting more points into the set itself will grant us better armor absorption, which is pretty nice because we're not really boosting it yet, so all sources of armor absorption really help us just to improve the efficiency of the armor that we already have, as well as just giving us more damage and later on boosting our cadence and our break morale skills even further. So it's going to be really nice, but I had a look at what it would take to craft this, and this is no joke. It needs 7 tainted brain matters, which are these lovely things that basically only drop from ethereal bosses. So you'll be farming the Warden for those kinds of things. So we need 7 of those. Then we need to craft ourselves a Blade Sworn Talisman, which also requires a tainted brain matter. I made one earlier, I did have the ingredients for that. Then we need a Haunted Steel, a Dread Skull, which is pretty difficult to obtain. The Haunted Steel is also, it requires quite some ether crystals to make. So this is going to be one of our long-term crafting projects. And no, that's going to keep us occupied. It's similar to the metal, how that drove my demand for crafting materials for a while. The Warborn Visor is going to be similarly occupying my attention. So whenever I feel the need to farm something, it's going to be farming zombies now, rather than beasties. Doesn't help that for one of the upcoming quests for in the Black Sepulchre, now in the East Marsh, we also need a tainted brain as an ingredient to open the door. Casters, let's take out the casters, because, well, casters hurt. It's one of the universal truths about most games, actually. Casters really hurt and you take them out as fast as you can. Also, what's that golden thing? Eternal Trauma. They're using my own damage type against me, aren't they? Oh. Thank you for trying, but no longer that impressed, to be honest. Getting my resistances sorted probably has something to do with that. We're still only at 47% ether resistance, though every once in a while a defensive thing pops up that really boosts it. It's part of, what was it? Yes, the ether ward, the Shard of Menhir. It's a pretty nifty little item. Okay, get around, then everybody can die at the same time. Excluding myself, of course. That would not be nice. There's a bit of a thing over to the side here. Let's see, these ether obelisks are usually pretty difficult to take out, but we have been tuning ourselves a bit more of a focus towards being aggressive. How does that translate into killing obelisks? I have to say, this is going rather well. We actually killed an obelisk without having to grind on it for 3 minutes. I'm pretty satisfied with that. So taking a lot of damage here. Let's get ourselves outside of whatever is trying to murder us here. Oh yeah, of course, they wake up. Okay, that's Overguard here. Yeah, okay. Most of the time, just a simple strategic withdrawal, or tactical withdrawal, whatever you want to call it. And then re-engaging the fight is going to be enough to just shake your enemies off, give some of them an opportunity to simply just die from damage over time effects, and then pick up where you left off. Okay, so you are back for more. The thing is, I actually have more to give you, so we'll see how this works out. See, this is a little bit of a test of damage or comparison to before. I have to say, before these things were more or less the bane of our existence because they simply had too much health. Now we're doing pretty darn well. That said, let's backtrack a little bit just to make sure we have indeed covered everything on the map. Ooh, hello there, caster. Ether Blaze. I knocked Ether Blaze off and completely lost him. There you are. Keep doing it there and just blitzing in melee range, knocking him over. Then pick up more stuffs, and then we go. Hello. Okay, health is spiking, but well, with these hulks, that is to be expected actually. Also, there is still some ether clouds going on. But all we needed was a simple overguard and still haven't actually had to use a health potion. Oh, that way, no, that is the test for me. If I feel threatened enough that I need to use a health potion, then things are pretty grim. Other than that, well, it is useful to be able to tank a bit of damage, just to test your tank once in a while. Well, today, going into the rift, killing lots of demons, or at least facing lots of demons, that's gonna be a pretty good test. Hey, there we are. Yeah, you just fall over, please. Yes, good. Okay, so the first section of the map has been explored. Let's wiggle over to the right side here to check that out. Also, something is throwing meteors at us. I think that's just a background thing. It's probably useful that we make a town stop to empty our pockets before we actually go into the rifts. Because, well, it is impossible to open up a portal to get out.
That skill's not ready.
And there we are. Not one of those guys. Well, yeah, let's not bother too much though. What I do like are ether crystals. So these cold ones, we have been shuffling our resistances around and we're only resisting cold at 63% rather than maxed out at 80. So cold is one of our weaknesses at the moment. Together with ether, which is also not in the best of shapes. Okay, that was not a bit of a safe space. Okay, let's just move out. Ignore them. I mean, the thing is stuck to the floor. Can't really do much against us. That is the funny thing about those spires. Then we must swoop back to the left side here. Oh, you really want the attention, don't you, you Flash Hulk? It's just funny to see just how much it hurts itself from attacking me. Okay. More or less just throwing ourselves against the walls here, I think. Oh no, wait, that was another section. A little bit of path to the side, path to the center, but there's a crystal here, so this kind of makes my choice for me. Ah, ethereal abomination. It's pretending to be a crystal. It hurts, but it doesn't hurt as much as, say, a Lucius does. So it's alright. It's alright. Come on, hurry up and die. Thank you. And we didn't even have the decency to drop loot. Ethereals these days, just no decency. Okay. Combination of a decent range of war cry with having a lot of retaliation, as of course draw in all the trash mobs and murders them rather efficiently.
That skill's not ready.
And after that, it's the more elite enemies that remain alive. Ooh, Messenger of War's now level 12. Okay. I thought I saw a shiny star here, but apparently there are no heroes. I was just misreading it. Do happen to blend into the background every once in a while, so it's easy to miss certain heroic opponents. Okay, this is the final wall that actually takes us to the necropolis, so at least we can tag that waypoint and then we double back.
You can't do that yet.
That's one of the downsides of the Plains of Strife. It's a rather large area, and unless you are, unless you have the map with all the possible spawn points open on your other screen, or you're all tabbing to it, then you probably would just end up doing a full clear, or you just have to get lucky.
Can't do that yet.
Mark of the Traveler. Right. So let's attack the waypoint, then we head back here. That seems better. Ooh, that's a lot of them. Really, that's a lot of them. Upside is, of course, if there's a lot of trash mobs, then, well, there's just gonna be a lot of little bundles of XP. Yep. This one is now ours. It's the next portal that we have to defend. This is just a simple tag and grab. And while we are here, we might as well just murder a bunch of these ethereals here. Okay, let's overguard here. So a little bit too much ether damage that they're trying to inflict by throwing stuff at me. There we are. So, now we can go back and we can see if we can find ourselves a portal. So we go from fighting ethereals to fighting Chthonians. It's a nice little bit of a variety that we get that way. It's a very different damage profile between the factions as well. A lot of ether damage, of course, here. Chthonians have more of an inclination towards chaotic damage, while these folks tend to like their cold. Chthonians have a bit more of a, or actually cold and fire, and Chthonians tend to like fire and vitality damage a bit better. Okay, you, Mr. Ethereal Abomination, you better drop some decent loot.
That skill's not ready.
I do occasionally find myself wishing for the occultist plague skill that makes enemies. Was it Black Rage, Fevered Rage, something like that? No, the one that makes enemies attack you faster. Just basically, gives them rabies. Because of course, if they're attacking faster, and then that is gonna be more damage that they inflict to themselves with retaliation, which is the key mechanic in this build. There's not a lot of places where the portal can be, so as I said, you often end up doing a full clear just to get to the portal. The initial stages of the fight, you have the most opponents, of course, the most trash mobs. So if you can use your blade barricade to just really increase the amount of retaliation damage that you're doing, then most of the time you're guaranteeing that the enemies are just gonna hit you once and then they're gonna die. And then they're not gonna hit you again. Because there's quite a difference between killing an enemy in a single retaliation versus 2 retaliations. Because of course every retaliation you do still have to tank all the damage that they're trying to inflict upon you. So a decent amount of damage coming in, but that's of course because I'm standing in a cloud of ether damage, which is not the most brilliantly smart thing to do. Okay. Okay, now I am getting confused. Shouldn't we have found the portal by now? Or am I completely overlooking it, and by the time you get to watching this bit in the video, you've already typed 3 different comments stating like, yeah, no, but at minute blah, you actually already found the portal. How could you not have seen it? Well, we did trace the outlines of a lot of areas, but we didn't cross through. Like, for example, there's still a couple of buggers over here. Stop some enemies over there. So we just traced the outlines of the area. And indeed, yeah. Ah, see, it was a little bit of stuff misted out that we haven't actually gone through. It's also kind of nice that the war cry, we actually taunted the mines. Hey, well. After we're done playing football with this overmind, we are gonna empty our pockets and then we can go into the rift. And let's go to Homestead. Fort Icon, the trip up the staircase always feels a little bit longer than here in Homestead. So it's nicer for shopping.
Come see what's left of my wares.
So we'll let's see, it's green but it's a gun, so we don't care. Let's see, another green one, but it was a caster thing. Another green gun. Of course, there's a lot of guys with guns out there. So finding some green guns every once in a while makes sense. So that's going to be our third stack of health potions in that case. Let's just actually just sell a full stack. And then we just keep recharging it. So that way it's easiest because you're always going to find more, not less. Ooh, spirit pain ointment. I like those. You don't find them very often. And I've now come to realize the value of those things. And the other flasks we're using, of course, are the bloodbound ointments, the chaos resistance ones. They are going to be very useful once we are inside of a chaotic rift, for example. Boosting our chaos resistance from 61 all the way to max. It helps. It effectively cuts down the amount of damage we'll be receiving by about half.
I'll keep an eye on this.
So it really takes the sting out of things. But of course we'll wait and we'll see. And we're not gonna use it until it feels necessary. Because of course for the Logorian and things like that, that is gonna be similarly challenging content. So we're 22 minutes into the episode. My plan was to just go through quickly, go into the portal and then spend most of the time inside of the portal. Turns out that it was a little bit more work to actually get through. So we're just gonna simply cut the episode in half here. So this is part 1. Part 2 is where we go into the rift and actually slay all of the demons and complete ourselves the Rowari Legacy quest. So for now, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.